Capricorn, this is going to be a tarot reading for you for the month of May 2021. I will look at past energies, current, future. We will look at the cards together then and pull even more to clarify. I also will use astrology in this video today to channel even more cosmic guidance. Let's see what has been going on with the sign of Capricorn, what themes have been coming up. So for past energies, we've got Two of Cups. Okay. Temperance, 2 more cups on that Temperance card. And the 7 of Swords. You've shown your strength in a intimate relationship of yours. Let's see what's going on in the present energies coming up around you. We'll go a lot deeper into these cards. I just want to first of all get them out on the table. What is the present energies surrounding Capricorn for the month of May 2021? You know what, Capricorn, the timing and energy on these readings is fluid, so just take the messages when they resonate, if they do, and leave the rest. Empress card, oh, that's some beautiful present energy. The Lovers, ooh, things are heating up in May for Capricorn. Yes, heating up very passionately. Knight of Wands. I will talk about the transits that are happening for Capricorn this month, but we have some Venus transits going on. A lot of hopefully abundance and gifts coming through. King of Cups at the bottom of the deck. Within your important relationships and in your emotional relationships, this is a very fiery, passionate and emotional reading so far. Let's see if we're getting anything else. Does anything change up? And what are we looking at for Capricorn from the end of May going into June? Future energies, what is coming up? So I've got the High Priestess. We've got already 4 major Arcana cards out on the deck. That's a lot, Capricorn. It seems like things are quite intense, building intensely around you. Judgment card. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Pluto, Judgment, just turned retrograde in the sign of Capricorn just the other day. I've never felt more internal and external intensity, but I'm experiencing a really big Pluto transit personally, and I feel like you guys are collectively feeling the tail end of Pluto's, long cycle through Capricorn. 9 of Swords. It's intense. It's going to be intense. There is a whirlwind romance taking place for some of you here. Something very passionate, some sort of like, like it was been so hot and heavy and back and forth, and okay, but coming up, Capricorn, we have some lessons to face and to be called again, to be to prove to the universe or prove to ourselves, or see that we've grown to evolve insofar as trusting in our intuition and our gut versus our piercing anxiety and brain chemistry. So let's see. I can't wait to get into these cards. I can't believe we've got 5 major Arcana cards out of 9 on this spread. I'm going to look at these cards with you guys, but before I do that and before we pull more, let's just take it back a little bit for Capricorn. Okay, so 2 of Cups. Oh, and Capricorn, if you usually watch my videos, they look different. I just moved house, so I'm sitting on a box of books, no seat, but I really just wanted to get this message out for Capricorn. So excuse my surroundings, I gotta set up properly. But going back, recently there has been some sort of a good flow in communication between you and another person. You've been through challenges with this person, I bet. You've almost had to, like I was saying, a show of strength, a show of your strength. Like, I won't be walked all over, like my feelings matter, you might be saying. Like, I won't be a doormat. Like, I'm going to stand my ground on this, and you can learn to live with me like this, or like we can learn to flow, but I'm not wavering. So like, take me or leave me, maybe. But it's went really well for you. You've basically been able to come to some sort of a pretty, looks like very harmonious outcome with somebody very recently, Capricorn, and things have really soothed themselves out. If that's not necessarily speaking to you about something from the past, so far this looks to me like you've kind of opened up and said yes to some sort of an offer that that you kind of felt that it would like pave a way forward for things to be more peaceful for you, basically, less agitating, less watching your back at every move and corner, like am I going to fall into it, like pothole energy, or just like something coming up and tripping you. Now things look a lot more plain sailing after perhaps more of a challenging time or a test of endurance. If some relationship is really at the center of this reading, like it's a very, very serious soulmate connection I have in this reading. Like the Lovers and the Two of Cups, ooh, that's extremely beautiful, divine love, connection, blessings and fulfillment energy coming up in this reading around you presently. I think this came in through the past and it's been building and building for some. Looks like it's getting it's building to a really, really like almost crescendo of outpouring of love and affection and passion and excitement and desire for one another. So let's see, that looks really good. Let's look a little bit more into this present energy row. If it's not this blessing of a love relationship or something coming through, there has been like a feeling of you, I saw that this kind of came up in my recent Virgo reading. Both of these cards came up together and it looked to me as if though the person I'm reading for, like you Capricorn, has really started to think like, oh, I'm really worth this kind of a relationship. Like I'm not really settling for anything less. I won't be committing and I'll be staying free. So the lovers isn't totally free because, we're not totally independent in this image, but there is like a liberation when you're with somebody that you still feel free with, you don't feel shackled to or anything. That can be sometimes hard to find in today's society. So for me, this is kind of, for some of the Capricorns that aren't like with somebody at the moment romantically, this is kind of me thinking that like you have begun to realize and become very clear, and the universe sees this and is responding to this, or the frequencies are responding to your frequency of the Empress, which is I deserve everything in life. Like I deserve all these blessings coming. I deserve the most. Like there's nothing I don't deserve. I'm so worth it all. And you're really, really knowing that your worth doesn't depend on another. You look in the mirror and that reflection back at you, you're like, oh yeah, like I know that I'm being true to myself, basically. The Knight of Wands is saying that there's going to be I can see some movement happening in the month of May. Travel potentially. Jupiter, the planet associated with travel and foreign cultures and countries and airplanes and all of that stuff, that Jupiter will move into Pisces on May 14th. Collectively for us Capricorn, just the collective in general, that's just going to present a time where travel may loosen up a little bit, because Pisces is not a restrictive energy like kind of Capricorn maybe astrologically. Like when there's a planet in there collectively, that energy might be a little bit more ambitious or kind of structured or restrictive. It's Saturn. That's Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. But Jupiter going into Pisces is going to be pretty fluid, a lot of movement, a lot of like expanse and travel, I guess. So that could be coming up as something that's more free for the collective and you Capricorn from May 14th even to around the 29th of July. Okay, so the High Priestess coming up in the near future, you're really going to be reckoned with something, Capricorn. I'm looking forward to seeing what this is. We're going to go a lot deeper on this and pull more cards, but High Priestess, more major arcana energy with the Judgment card. Like, deep down in your heart and soul why and what keeps coming to the surface for you, what keeps resurfacing, why it does, what it's trying to teach you. I bet you there is like your intuition is telling you what this is, like what is this lesson, or what is this kind of like all dressed up as, or why do you keep having like for example like a conflict with somebody at work, and then you move to another job but you notice the conflict is similar with a similar type of individual, and then the next place something similar, but you just fundamentally have to get to the message of what you've got to do yourself, so that you don't think it's nothing external is like bothering you. It's just your reaction to this annoying person in work. I'm speaking from experience in a certain extent. So there does look to be some sort of a less trusting on intuition, which is there, and it's really coming through for you, Capricorn. Even think about what your gut's telling you at this time. That could be just a very valuable insight from the High Priestess, not to get it confused with anxiety, you know, which isn't intuition, but it can feel sometimes like our anxieties can feel very, very strong, and like they can be very forceful in our decision making, you know. So let's see what's coming up. Okay, why don't you look at these cards, Capricorn? The astrology I use in these videos should be read more so from the rising sign position. So if you're a Capricorn sun or a Capricorn moon or Venus or any of those placements watching, check out the video for your rising sign if you know it. And then you'll see, kind of get some like astrological insight too, perhaps. But basically, it can be still extremely relevant, the astrology for the Capricorn suns too, okay? So Jupiter moves into your third house of community, neighborhood, siblings, and this can show up as blessings, as things coming through insofar as your relationship with these kind of people in your life, blessings coming through with how you transport here and there and place to place, and also just like blessings and abundance coming up in Capricorn's life as to, for this summer, like as how they want to express themselves, and people are really like listening to what Capricorn rising is saying or what Capricorn is saying. They're being heard. So that's coming up, okay? There is plenty of time for blessings to come through this summer. Basically, we've got Jupiter transiting through Pisces and then Venus transiting through Gemini. So for Capricorn rising, that's the 6th house. 6th house is routine, so good things happening and switching up in your routine. Hey, could be linked to getting that car, Jupiter, through the 3rd house or something, and it just helps things move along nicer for you, Capricorn. Let's see. For some, this romantic relationship might have started at like an art class or some sort of a creative class, and you began dating or doing like artsy things together or creative things together. Oh, the Tower card here. Okay, so the Tower card is coming through as like more of a shift in energy and something sudden. Ooh, Death card. Whoa, so we've got 7 major arcana cards out here right now. It's really quite a lot, Capricorn. So if you are feeling intensity in your life right now, I guess this reading is for you, because it's telling me that you're ready to kind of you're being tested, you're learning. The Temperance card talks to us about having learned to embody this much more flow and calm and easeful way of existing and being and thinking about things after sometimes the kind of chaos or pandemonium and sudden, perhaps sometimes upset or rockiness that occurred in the Tower. The Tower just changes things. But with the Death card coming up, it can tell me that sudden endings may come about, very sudden changes and very sudden disruptions in your life, very sudden suddenly you had to kind of turn your back on something and walk away or look the other way, or suddenly something could have come about where you were said like, I have to completely get up and leave and go elsewhere and relocate, and what would that mean? So these bigger kind of notions and ideas, and like, you know, you really do feel like this is like sudden changes and disruptions for some of you to your life cycles and like kind of like the direction that your life was going on, because like certain things ended in death, but they also begun again. So this energy is kind of like followed by the Empress. It's like, okay, blessing in disguise, are we thinking, Capricorn? Like, what came from this? A lot of liberation and a lot of like realizing your worth. Whoa, guys, these are big soul lessons with these major arcana cards. Let's go on, but I'm sure there'll be some more things to say about everything. We'll clear up now this present row for Capricorn, the Empress card. The Empress, Venus is transiting through Capricorn risings, and this is Gemini. Venus is going to move into Gemini on April 9th, and that will be going into Capricorn rising, 6th house of routine. So let's see, this routine's going to get nicer for Capricorn rising. Any important contracts for all of the Capricorn peeps to watch out for, or any miscommunications that could arise after Mercury goes retrograde in Gemini on May 24th. Just watch out for any miscommunications after that date, May 24th, because then, you know what, Try and get any important conversations or contracts signed this month before the end of the month, taxes and all of that, of course. Let's go. Let's clear up this row. Empress, season, the Lovers, and Knight of Wands. Some of us are still in tax season. Eight of Swords, Mercury in Gemini, would you believe? So that's that Mercury retrograde in Gemini, May 24th. Capricorn rising, it's going to be in your 6th house of colleagues. So don't get in any kind of altercations at work, or miscommunications could end up being more annoying for you. So just a warning for that. 7 of Pentacles. Okay, so let's see. There does seem to be some sort of like, there's like movement and change that's happened, and it's continuing to happen, but there's like, how does it feel, Capricorn, to be this must be great. On one hand, like propelled and moving and having to like suddenly recuperate from challenges and overcome and kind of restabilize, but also you still feel like you're flipping in limbo. So some things are happening so suddenly for you, but at the same time you feel like you're not getting ahead or getting any further with another sort of aspect of life. And it's like your progression, and maybe in money matters, your progression with like even like monetizing something you used to do for fun, your progression basically with all the effort you've been putting in, why isn't it paying off yet? And now you're starting to have these sort of self-limiting beliefs of like, oh, it's not paying off yet because I didn't do a good enough job of it, or I didn't strike at the right time, or I'm cursed or something, so there's like some sort of an energy of that coming up here. But meanwhile, you've entered May with these blessings, but maybe you just have to kind of identify what the blessings are. Knowing your self-worth, Capricorn, is what the Empress is really like inviting you to do. And through this, you will, if you're hoping maybe more to attract love at this time, or something that's very serious and harmonizing, and maybe it's something that you'd lost, this past energy could be even further back. But if you're hoping to do that, it seems like May is a good time to start manifesting the kind of love that you want. Venus through the sign of Gemini from May 9th. Venus is about values. What kind of a person what does their values have to align with yours, so to speak? So really start thinking about that. But stepping into and being invited into the Empress energy of knowing your self-worth is really going to open up something that's going to look very nice, like the Lovers card energy. Beautiful, passionate, fiery, aligned and connected energy in the Lovers card, even if it's just with yourself. So we want to be more in this energy. You're gonna just talk yourself out of sticking with somebody maybe, but something. You're starting to like talk yourself out of it because you're not seeing the results yet. Be patient, Hanged Man at the bottom of the deck. Be patient, Capricorn. Another major arcana card. Hello. Wow, be patient. You're learning something extremely valuable at the moment while you're in this feeling like suspended, no movement around something. Don't talk yourself out of it and psych yourself out of it because of the patience. You're Capricorn, you're Saturnian. Commitment and patience comes as second nature to you. You're always being tested in terms of endurance, and you always prevail. Come on, stick with it, Capricorn. Let's keep going. The High Priestess, Judgment, and the 9 of Swords. So let's have a look at this. Is big energy. So let's see what's coming through for this row. So, let's see. All right, I wonder if we have many major arcana cards left. The 5 of Cups. We do, I kid. And the Knight of Swords and the Knight of Cups at the bottom of the deck. So we have 3 knights out here now at this point. So I can see a lot of movement taking place even towards the end of the month. You looks like you're going to have to make a decision to act a little bit quicker than you usually would on something, Capricorn. And your hesitancy to act quickly comes from getting burnt, feelings hurt actually in the past. Oh, let's see if we can see this a bit more. So you've some sort of a feelings have been hurt in the past, and that's kind of leaving you feeling hesitant or racked with some sort of like regret or guilt or remorse or sorrow about something. And like, you know, you've gotten burnt in the past and that's how it's made you feel. So whatever that situation is something, like we said, this was karmic. And Pluto teaches us basically about survival in astrology. And it teaches us what we're able to survive, basically. And so that might be how you're feeling at the moment, Capricorn. And maybe it isn't as big as this, but like I just see it, this has been quite a big reading with all these major cards. And for me, I haven't had a reading like this for you guys actually since maybe the last September. And you know what? Funny enough, I'm nearly sure we were talking about Pluto transits then too, Capricorn. And that is similar now, so because Pluto has just stationed retrograde. Retrograde means things will be kind of feel like they're going back over again, like you feel like you're revisiting. We think of redoing, resurfacing, revisiting with Pluto, with Judgment card and with the retrograde. So that's what things are starting to come up again for you May into June, and you're starting to feel things that had been coming to the surface for a while and coming back, they're basically boiling over perhaps. And for whatever reason, you have to act more suddenly on something. So what I would say is try to focus less, because we're looking at some sort of a loss, and some of us are mourning something and grieving something, and we are still quite consumed by it. We're starting to feel consumed about actions we took around something that we felt disappointed or sorrowful over, and really it's that like, oh, I should have done this, what did I do? And like you're starting to rethink and like really lose sleep over every single movement you took and action you took. I do believe that you were coming from a place from the heart, Capricorn, if this is meaning something to you, that like all the time you were trying to come from a place of heartfelt concern and offering a cup of love or something like that. The Strength card and Star card. So here's our majors as well, still coming through. The Strength card and Star card is saying like it's a really good omen for physical renewal and mind, body and soul. Mind, body, spirit, all of that just been feeling like revival of optimism and hope and energy and renewal, okay? So let's hope for some of these energies coming through. We can always reach out for these and tend to ourselves. So just if there's anything that you can begin to do to tend to your physical body or your mind or your spirit that you haven't been able to do for a while, like you fell out of that practice, maybe it was meditating, I don't know, maybe it was juggling or something fun like that, but like you fell out of the practice of doing something that made you feel really good, be it mind or body or soul or spirit or all, whatever you think. And yeah, because the Tower happened, and actually numerically the Tower comes and then the Star comes. So after the havoc of this Tower in the past, we can kind of not be able to tend to ourselves in this way. We have to tend to relationships, we have to tend to investments, we have to tend to like life in general being just throwing us curveballs. But look, Capricorn, that's always there to dip into a couple of these practices maybe. But yeah, things are coming up for you again, and just don't let dwelling on the past prevent you basically from addressing something that's asking to come up again, if that makes sense. And Knight of Cups, follow your heart. Take things slowly if you need to. If you rush things, I know you have to feel like you have to make a quick decision on something, but if you rush things, it might not be in alignment with you totally. So that's going to be the reading I have for you now, Capricorn, and I hope to see you again soon. Thank you.